Today we're going to be talking about, is NCAA hockey right for you? Do you want to go the university route or do you want to go major junior route? And there is no set answer on this. There is so many factors to look into when you're making that decision. Welcome back to another AHA video. Thank you guys so much for the support up to this point. We hope you've enjoyed the content, and of course, if there's anything else you would like to see, leave it in the comments down below. So let's get into it. When you are looking, do I want to be a CHL player or an NCAA player? There's a lot of factors that go into it, and please keep in mind that everybody has the dream of playing NHL. However, there's less than 1% that'll make it. So if you look at the numbers of where guys are playing pro afterwards compared to from when they played NCAA or CHL, there's a lot of factors that go in. Were they drafted? Did they sign undrafted? How long did they play CHL? How long did they play college hockey? Where did they sign from? Straight in the A, straight in the East Coast, and work their way up? There's so much to go into it, okay? And we're going to avoid that today. However, what we will discuss is if you are a U15 player, and I'm saying U15 because that's the draft year for CHL, for most of them, unless you're WHL and it's a Bantam draft, you need to make that decision at 16 years old. And that's super young, super difficult. Now, there's a lot of things that go into it. What kind of a hockey player are you? Are you the top tier player? Are you absolutely dominating your category right now? And I'm saying dominating, not that you think you're dominating and you're a third line player, but however, you're on the first line, you got 2 points a game, you have hundreds of agents and scouts coming at you, like everybody's bombarding you with emails, phone calls, you got scouts, you got agents coming after you.
Hey, we really want to help you.
You're a top tier guy. That means that you have NCAA options and CHL options. So that's part one. You have both of those right away. You can analyze both and see what you want to do. And that doesn't happen for everybody. And then in full honesty with you, only the best of the best top players will get that. That being said, the next step is look at what kind of a student are you? Are you struggling in school? First of all, are you lazy? You don't want to go to class, you don't want to study, you don't want to do your homework, which most kids don't, and you don't see the value of school? Well, then that's the easy answer, because you won't stick at the NCAA level because there's grade requirements, and academics is very important because they're preparing you for life, whether that's on the ice or not. But look at that. You are good in school. Okay.
I have a 75 average above. I put in work. I don't like school, but I understand that it's a necessary evil, and I have to do it to either continue to play hockey or to be successful.
Perfect. So now school's going well, hockey's going well. The next thing is, what do I want to do in the future? Do you really like working with your hands and want to work in construction, own your own construction company? Are you a gaming nerd and you want to take gaming to the next level? Do you want to be a lawyer, a doctor? Look at what you potentially like. And I completely understand at 15, 16, you probably have no idea what you want to do. In my case, I had no idea till I was 20, or at least 20. And that's perfectly fine. But if you do have the slightest idea, that'll help guide you of, do I need academics or not? Because certain things you do, certain things you don't. That's probably one of the major ones. Because if you know, for example, you love working with your hands, or you love cars and you want to be a mechanic, then the NCAA option might be there for you just to play hockey longer. But you can also just say, you know what, I'm going to go play major juniors and take my shot at the pros. And once the pros are done, I'll come back to being a mechanic. Because if you look at the path, right, you're playing U16s, you get drafted. Now they say you made the team. Okay, perfect. That means I can play from 16 all the way up till 20. At 20 years old, I either go play U Sports, which is very probable if you're a good player and you're doing well academically. They help pay for U Sports, so you'll get an option there. Or am I good enough that I got drafted, or that I'm going to go play pro? You go pro, you try to play 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer, maybe 10, 15 years. Once that's done, you come back to what you had as your plan B: mechanic, carpenter, own your own company, gamer, whatever it might be. If you go the NCAA route, 16, you're doing well, you play 18s. At 18s, you make the jump to juniors. So you're probably playing from 17 till 20, you're playing junior hockey. From there, you either go U Sports, you go NCAA, or you go directly pro. You have all three avenues. If you're playing in the top league like USHL, BCHL, some guys, I'm not going to say it often, most of them go play college at least for a year, will try to go directly to pros. It's very infrequent because they understand that you need a year of development, and they go take that 1 year and play college hockey and then sign afterwards. But there are some players that do it. So those are the two differences. One closes the door to NCAA, but it has the U Sport and the pro option. One has NCAA, U Sports, and pros. But again, there's a lot of factors that go into this. You could be playing junior A thinking, I really want to play college hockey. But if academically you're struggling, and I say struggling in two senses, either you're putting in work and you can barely pass your classes, or you're just really lazy and it takes everything out of you to even try to sit in a classroom. That's what I mean by struggling. Where you know academics might hinder your NCAA performance, then don't go that route. It's not for you. And that's not saying you don't deserve it, you're not good enough or anything like that. It's just knowing your skills and what you're good at. I had a teammate teammate in college that in high school, he was a C+, B- student. And there's nothing wrong with that. Those are good grades. He worked hard for them. He went and played 4 years of juniors. In junior hockey, he decided not to be a student like a lot of players do. They just focus on hockey and trying to get a scholarship. He got a full ride Division 1. His first semester, he got a 0.25 GPA. NCAA requires a much higher GPA than that. He got a 0.25. He lost his scholarship. He got kicked out of the school because academically he was not there. He struggled to get his work done. When he did study for exams, they didn't go well. He forgot what it was to be a student. And of course, he didn't help himself by not being a student while he was playing junior hockey. He should have taken 1 or 2 classes online per semester so that he continued to stay in that system of I need to study, I need to do homework, I need to pass a test. But academics wasn't for him. Looking back, talking to him after we graduated, he said himself he should have probably went to the WHL because that was a better fit for the type of person he was. It was a better fit in the sense that it was fully that pro mentality of I wake up, I go to the gym, I skate, I do some extra work, whether it's video, whether it's extra reps, whatever it is, I go home and I do it again the next day, where the focus is only hockey and nothing else. Whereas in college hockey, you might have some extra support. At 𝗵𝗂𝗡𝗏, we did have extra support. We had a lot of teachers not on call, but we had access to a lot of teachers on campus where we can go sit in their office for 2-3 hours and get that one-on-one tutoring to make sure we did well. But of course, we had to go seek it. Our coach wasn't going to set it up for us. We're adults. We had to go seek a professor and say, look, I'm struggling in class right now. Can you sit down with me and go over it so that I can make sure I'm okay in your classroom and also so that I can play? And they provided it for that. They provided that to us, no problems, no questions asked. But a lot of players don't want to take that route. And a lot of players every season get ineligible because of their grades, because they slip, because they don't go to class, because they fail those tests. So when you're 15 or 16, factor all this in. Now, if you hate school, you hate everything about it, but you're a good student, don't close that door on yourself, because playing college hockey, first of all, gives you so many more years of hockey, because you could either be done at 20 and forced into go pros, or you could be done at 24 and then forced into go pros. And that's 4 years of, if you get a scholarship, guaranteed hockey, where going pro never is. Furthermore, just because you're lazy in school and you're not happy and you don't like it, or maybe not lazy, but you hate everything about it, you don't see yourself sitting in class, it opens doors hockey-wise. It opens doors professionally. I was that student. I was a good student. I did my homework, I did my exams, I studied, but I never liked school. I never saw myself being a doctor, a lawyer, or anything like that. I wanted to be a carpenter. And it's only once I got into university that I studied something I enjoyed, sports management, which got me into coaching, advising, and many other things. And I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't have taken that chance. I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't have taken the risk of, let me go to university and see if this is for me. I found the program I liked. I did super well. I got honors, loved it. I met some incredible people that are now great connections professionally, everyday life, whether that's in sports or in other industries. I got to play 4 more years of incredible hockey, meet some incredible people, and made some great memories. And I got to play with some guys who are still playing pro today, which if they would have tried to go to pros in juniors at 20 years old, they wouldn't have been ready. But going to college hockey, they took extra years of development, extra years of playing versus big, strong boys that are unbelievable hockey players, and it got them ready for the pros. And now they play in the AHL. They were never drafted. They got invited to East Coast upon graduation, did well, got moved up to the AHL, and they're playing there now. If you look at the numbers year after year, the shift between CHL and NCAA is changing. Those first round picks, those top picks, most of them come out of the CHL. And that changes year to year because there's obviously the superstars that are playing NCAA a little bit early. But if you look down the roster, the guys that are playing pro, a lot of them are coming out of the NCAA. Just because they have more time to develop, to work on their craft. Not everybody is in peak performance at 17, 18, 19, or 20 years old. And if you are, the CHL might be a good fit for you for that exact reason that you developed sooner. You were ready to make that step into the pros. But the average person, I would say more than average, more than half of you will need a bit more time. And that NCAA route gives you more time. So the biggest factor to consider when you're looking at, am I ready for the CHL or am I ready for NCAA, is how quick do you adapt? How well do you develop? How quick do you develop? Because if you're not ready in a certain small period of time, your door is closed and it's time to move on. That's the main difference between the two. If you were a good enough player to play CHL or NCAA, you'll have both those options. You need to look at when you'll be ready. I will use my personal experience. I was drafted in the 10th round by Shawinigan Cataracts, and at that time I had no NCAA experience, no clue what it was. I thought I was ready to make that jump, and I learned the hard way that I was not, and that's perfectly fine. I wasn't ready. I thought I was good enough. I thought I was strong enough mentally. I was ready physically. I was ready on the ice. Mentally, I couldn't handle the pressure. And that's why I got released and I got sent down to Junior A. And it was the biggest blessing because come 19 years old, I played the best hockey I'd ever played. I got NCAA opportunities and I signed with a D1 school. Got a full scholarship. Everything went great. That extra development, those extra years playing Junior A hockey showed me that I needed more time because when I got there as a rookie, I saw what it was to play with the big boys and I wasn't wasn't ready for it. And then when I got to university, I took that step again and I saw what it was to play with these big guys. And there's a reason some of those guys go pro and some of those guys don't. I know I throw a lot at you guys this video, whether you're ready academically, whether you know what you want to do or not. More importantly, the third and the biggest factor is knowing how well you can develop and how quickly you can develop. Because one of them gives you 2-3 years, one of them gives you 6-7 years. And again, all these opportunities, don't forget, have to be earned. Whether you're going CHL or NCAA, they're both extremely competitive markets. The best of the best will play in either of those categories. So if you're just good right now, put in that extra work to get yourself better and get an opportunity in either of them so that you do have a choice at the end of the day of what's a better fit for you. If you have any questions about any of this, please leave a comment down below. We'll gladly give you some advice and try to help you as best as we can. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video.